This Sony A7R is the first model in this high resolution series from Sony, the R series. But I think it's quite a nice camera even today. But let's have a look at what is in it and what you get if you buy some of the upgrades. So welcome back to my channel. Today we'll have a look at the Sony A7R, the first model in this series from Sony, the A7 series, but the high resolution versions of this series. This is a 36 megapixel camera, which is quite a lot even today. I think it's enough for most people. Most of my cameras are lower resolution than this, but why shouldn't you upgrade to the A7R Mark II, which is a 42 megapixel, or even to the Mark IV, which is a 61 megapixel resolution camera? Well, let's have a look at it. This is a very cheap camera. That's of course the main reason why you could choose this. As I said, it has a 36 megapixel resolution. This one doesn't have image stabilization, which didn't come until the Mark II version of this camera, and that is for some people a deal breaker. But I find that most situations I can shoot this reasonably at reasonably long shutter times without any problems. It has a nice focus system, which is quite fast, and I don't think the Mark II version was much faster. I know that the later versions, which are very expensive, did get an upgrade to the focus system, so that is quite good. Another thing is that it only shoots, I think it's 5 or 6 frames per second. So that's some of the main differences between this, the first model, and the second model. But it has a lot of good things in it. There's a button here that you press, and then it will enlarge in both the viewfinder and also on the screen, when enlarged up to 10 times. So you can very easily focus manually if you want to do that. And I do that with some lenses, because the only Sony lens that I have is actually this 50mm f1.8. I shoot some with this, but I shoot quite a lot with another lens, a Perkia 35mm f1.4. This lens can give me very much out of focus backgrounds in a wide angle perspective, and I like that quite a lot. So this is actually the lens that I used the most, and it's quite sharp and doesn't do any vignetting on the lens. Another thing that I also do is that I use an adapter. This can be used for all the Sony A7 models. This adapter is for old Sony from their SLT cameras, the lenses from those cameras, and it even works with some of the older Minolta A mount lenses. So that's quite nice. Another thing that I do is that I use this adapter here, and I use it together with Canon lenses, because as you probably know from my channel, I have a lot of Canon equipment. I've been a Canon shooter since many years. I also use the Canon's adapted on my Hasselblad cameras, but this adapter can adapt it to the Sony camera, and it has electronics, so most of the Canon lenses can do autofocus. So I use a lot of my Canon gear, Canon lenses, together with the Sony A7R Mark I. There's a lot to like about this camera. It has nice controls both in front here and on the back. There's also a dial, and you have a setting for exposure compensation. You have all the modes that you would like, and you even have some custom modes on the camera, so you can set some specific modes for certain kind of shoots. It has a flippable screen. It's not a fully tiltable screen, so it's not a vlogging camera as such, but it can do 4K, can do full HD video, and that's also one of the differences from this camera to the Mark II version, which did the 4K, which do 4K video. But this has a microphone and headphone output, so input and output. So also nice for getting good sound on your videos. I like that quite a lot. But let's have a look at some images that I've shot with this camera and this lens, and also the Pergear lens that I showed you. So I hope you like this small review of the Sony A7R Mark I, the first model in the series from Sony. I like it quite a lot. I've had it for some years, and it's a nice small camera. It's very lightweight. And one thing that I didn't mention is that this camera, this Mark I version, is around 200 grams lighter than the Mark II version, and it also runs a longer time on the batteries. So it's not so heavy on the battery usage as the later versions, and that's quite nice. I carry normally like 2 or 3 extra batteries because the Sony series of cameras are known to be quite heavy on the batteries, but this one is not the worst of them. I like this camera a lot. I like the output that comes from it, and I don't have any problems with not having image stabilization in this camera. It's not a problem for me, so I can only recommend this camera because you can get it for very cheap. I got mine for I have to calculate, it's around 400 euro together with this lens, and I think that is very cheap for such a nice camera, so I can only recommend it. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you will subscribe to my channel and also hit the like button on this video. So thank you very much for this time, and bye for now.